Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English, and in this video I'm going to have a discussion of the important question paper, that is the fourth semester BA Generic English 2023 examination. And this question paper belongs to Bangalore North University BNU, not BU, not BCU, exclusively for BNU fourth semester BA, very special question paper. So now let's begin the discussion. So as we know very well, the format of the question paper is here 40-20. 40 marks consist the novella plus the TED Talk and poems, and the 20 marks the remaining letter writing, etc. Now the first 40 marks, here we have the very first 30 marks out of 40. 30 marks here refers to the novel Thousand Faces of Night. For the BNU students in the fourth semester BA, there's a very special novel titled Thousand Faces of Night, written by Geeta Hariharan. So 30 marks questions are going to be asked from this novel. And here the section 1, you need to answer here 2 marks questions from this novel. Out of 7 questions, you need to attempt here 5 questions. Question number 1, mention the names of any 2 mythological stories narrated by Devi's grandmother. So she had narrated the mythological stories like story of Damayanti, story of Gandhari, story of a girl who married a snake, story of Amba from Mahabharata, story of Ganga and Shantanu. Question number 2. How does Sita react when her father-in-law scolds her? In an anger and frustration, she pulled out the strings of Veena and she took a vow and oaths that not to play the Veena again. She decided that she will not play Veena again, and she replied in a whisper saying, "Yes, I am a wife and a daughter-in-law." This is how she reacted. Where does Devi meet Dan? Devi met Dan in USA, United States of America. Question number 4. Mayama's son Raja treats her as cruelly as a husband, very gently, as lovingly as her husband. No, the option is here A. Mayama's son Mayama's son Raja treats her or treats her mother, his mother, as cruelly as her husband. Option number A. How many days in a month does Mahesh stay at home? So Mahesh generally will be out of station because he has been working as a regional manager in a multinational company at Bangalore. So his job demands so many tours. So he stays at home only 10 days in a month. How many days in a month? Only 10 days in a month he stays at home. That's the reason. Devi is inspired by the Swayamvara in the story of Nala and Damayanti. Is it a true statement? Yes. She has been inspired by the Swayamvara in the story of Nala and Damayanti. Who is Parvatim? Who is Parvatimiya? Sorry, who is Parvatayama? Tayama. I'm unable to pronounce it. Who is Parvatayama? Parvatiyama. Okay. To whom does she give the keys before leaving the house? So Parvatama. I'll say Parvatama is Mahesh mother. She is Mahesh mother. She gives the keys to Mayama before leaving the house. Mayama is the maid at home. Okay, so these are the 2 marks questions we have here. And again, I would like to mention here that I have already done the summary of this novella, Thousand Faces of Night. You can see the summary of the link of the summary in the description box or in the playlist. Now, let's move to the 5 marks questions from novel Thousand Faces of Night by Geeta Hariharan for the 4th semester BA students, BNU. Question number 1. Explain how Devi's grandmother links Gandhari's story to Devi's mother Sita's story. Devi's grandmother's stories, which were drawn from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, focused on the woman's pride, destiny, and self sacrifice. Her stories seek to establish a link with the lived experiences. Myths for her were possible resolutions of a perplexing reality. She narrates the story of Gandhari, who plays a significant part in the Mahabharata. Gandhari was married to a very rich prince whose palace was twice as big as magnificent as her parents' palace. Whereas on meeting her husband for the very first time, Gandhari was shocked to see that the white eyes, the pupils glazed and useless. In an anger, Gandhari vowed to never see world. She would bound she bound her eyes with the help of a veil. Summing up the story, Devi's grandmother says she embraced her destiny, a blind husband with a self-sacrifice worthy of her royal blood. So it is the way Devi also interpreted the story and realized the blindness of her parents. Gandhari's story is once again reflected in the life of Sita, that is Devi's mother. Devi's mother Sita has to put aside the music, the need of a soul to perform traditional duties of wife, daughter in law, and mother. So, Devi's mother was very much interested in music, but she had to stop due to her father in law, due to her family life. By stifling her own wishes, she transforms herself into an ideal daughter in law. She broke her veena to satisfy her in laws, but her sacrifice was never the sacrifice of the weak person. She considers Devi as a symbol of Veena. Who considers? That is Sita considers Devi as the symbol of Veena. For years thereafter, she remains unhappy. This is confirmed by her extreme silence and the rigidity with which she conducts herself in her real life. She remains silent. Towards the end of the novel, she acknowledges her selfhood and the needs of a self. Her return to music gives us strong indications of a release of a self from the clutches of the past. So this is how Devi's mother Sita's story is very much how Devi has related this story to Gandhari's myth or the story. Attempt a character sketch of Mayama. So, who is Mayama? Mayama was an old caretaker come cook of Devi's in law's house. She gets married at an early age of 12, and that too with a useless drunkard and gambler who came to her every night for physical pleasure alone. She knew no happiness in marriage. Mayama survived for long suffering life as a wife, daughter-in-law, and as a mother. Her mother-in-law, unable to check Mayama's insides, she had to content herself with the astrologer's promise that Mayama would bear her many strong grandsons. And she watches Mayama's slim waist intently for the first year, and the second year she breaks into complaints. Her mother-in-law's abuse is habitual throughout Mayama's married life. When Devi asked Mayama why she had put up with her life, she laughs till tears roll down her wrinkled cheeks. Mayama's mother-in-law abuses her every day. She forces Mayama to fast every other day and to do penance, tapasya, to change the evil course of her horoscope. Mayama welcomed her penance like an old friend and did everything she could do. She woke up at 4 in the morning and walked to the pond, prayed, and dipped herself again in the pure coldness. One day the goddess she had prayed, blessed her womb, and joy rushes through her blood. After long prayers, she is blessed with a son. So Mayama's husband left the house, taking away all the money, and soon her mother in law also passes away, cursing her. Though Mayama never saw her husband again, she found his replica in their son. A wastrel from birth, he threatened and cursed and even beat his mother till he finally caught a fever and died. So Mayama used to get beating from his own son, and finally she also died due to heavy cough or heavy fever. In spite of his cruel behavior, Mayama serves her son on the deathbed. The day he died, Mayama wept as she had not done for many years. She cried bitterly. She wept for her youth, her husband, the culmination of her life's handiwork. Now all these had been snatched from her. She does not have a husband now. She doesn't have her son. She goes back to Mahesh's house to seek job. She gets a job, and then after, okay. So through Mayama, Gita Hariharan exposes the helplessness of traditionally suppressed, rather illiterate women. She becomes the target of social norms. So that's a character sketch of Mayama for 5 marks. Third question, describe Gauri's aspiration and struggle to get married and the outcome of her efforts. This question's answer I could not get properly, but I have tried my best to get the answer. I mean to say to create the answer, to write the answer. On Gauri's primary aspiration is to get married to secure her place and respect in society. Raised with the traditional values, she believes that marriage will provide her with societal standing and personal fulfillment. Once married, Gauri struggles to meet the relentless demands and the expectations of her father in law. When Gauri is unhappy with her drunken husband, she seeks solace in her brother in law's company. Despite her relentless efforts to be the perfect wife and daughter in law, Gauri's struggles do not lead to the fulfillment she had hoped for. Instead, her marriage becomes a source of constant disappointment and hardship. So these are the 5 marks questions. Now we are going to have the 10 marks question discussion from the novel Thousand Faces of Night. Now the answers are quite very lengthy, so have patience, and these answers are going to help you to solve any question which appear from the novel, either it's a 2 marks, 5 marks or 10 marks. So they are very capsuled answer, very customized answer, I would say in simple language. Question number 1. The Thousand Faces of Night is a feminist novel. Do you agree? Give reasons. In Thousand Faces of Night, Geeta Hariharan presents a chain of events related to men and women, love and death, emotions, as well as painful loneliness. She intersperses it with myth and folklore with the social status of women within the boundaries of time, space, and region. This novel exposes the underworld faces of India's women's lives and throws light on the emerging womanhood. This also reveals the unending fight for the rights and the quest for the self identity in the present world. The women characters are Mayama, Parvatama, Sita, Devi, and the grandmother in the Thousand Faces of Night all belong to different generations. They play active role in developing the plot of the novel. Mayama, the servant maid, and the grandmother in the Thousand Faces of Night are identified as feminine, who seem to fulfill every criterion of complete feminine development. They are excellent wives, mothers, and capable housewives. Mayama, the family retainer in the house of Devi's father-in-law, is the archetypal female who accepted a fate, cursed it, but never questioned it, and lived her life exactly as she was expected to do. She bore the brunt of cruelty that the patriarchal family had ordained for a woman as a daughter, as a wife, and as a daughter in law, as well as a mother. 1 minute, yeah. She made no choice, and she had no choice but just to live the predetermined life. That's about Mayama. Mayama's life is battered, violence filled existence. She was 12 when she was married. Who rubbed her eyes, yawned as she leaned back in her father's lap. Her innocent childhood was nipped in the bud. Unfortunately, she did not bear a child even after 10 years of marriage. As a practice of penance for being tapasya for being barren without child, she dipped herself again in the pure coldness, stout every other day. She gave up salt, tamarind. However, her mother-in-law used to say, the miseries of Mayama came to a halt tentatively after a son was born to her. However, when the child was 8, Mayama's husband deserted her. He left her. Afterwards, she found his replica in her son. He had been very cruel since birth, often threatening, cursing, even beating his mother. Yet she never questioned these atrocities of the patriarchal family. never raised a voice or tried to escape from this living hell. She had learned the art of survival painfully and slowly. On seeing the prolonging frustrations in life which are not under her control, she prepares her mind to practice its own defense mechanism. Devi, the protagonist of the Thousand Faces of Night, is a young. Now we are going to have the discussion about Devi. Devi is the protagonist of the Thousand Faces of Night. Is a young and a product of Western education. She finds that her life is full of disillusionment, and she has all along thrived on illusions of womanhood. Devi, at the age of adolescence, was a pet as well as like Sri Devi, like for her grandmother. She was very close to her grandmother. When she was in abroad, she was escorted by her boyfriend Dan in USA. Her mother fulfilled her needs, gave her good education at America, and at the right time she arranged marriage with Mahesh. So Devi got married with Mahesh. But after marriage, she feels that she has lost everything in her life. Devi's dreams like life comes to an end when she's married to Mahesh, who is a regional manager in a multinational company. He doesn't stay at home more than 10 days in a month. He will be always on the tours. At first, Devi admired Mahesh's frank speech. Later, she realized that he's too Indian, and as well as he sees everything in a business motto, including family and life. He doesn't want to share anything with his wife except the needs of his body. He goes on long tours for weeks together on business. In an accident, it is found that Devi asked Mahesh to postpone the business trip, but Mahesh insulted her, saying, "Why don't I pray to be born a woman in my next birth? Then I won't have to make a living at all." In Devi's life, Gopal is yet another character of exoticism. She feels the superficial feeling of freedom. Her relationship with Gopal shows that she confronts her loneliness and alienation. As she predicts earlier, the affair with Gopal proves to be a very short one, not for long duration. So whenever the occasion arises, the grandmother narrates a story in response to the question of curious Devi instead of giving a direct answer. Through the mythical characters like Gandhari, Ambalika, Ambika, she was well informed about the woman's pride, destiny, and self sacrifice. Devi imagined herself as a woman warrior, a heroine, and rode on a tiger to cut off evils, and also she built the courage in her. She says, "I became a woman warrior, a heroine. I was Devi. I rode a tiger, cut off evil, magical demons' heads." She feels cheated like Gandhari, sighted like Amba, and suffers like the lady who married the snake. She also feels that the new life is in contrast with her previous life. Hence, in Thousand Faces of Night, Gita Hariharan has brought a chain of events related to men and women, love and death, emotions, as well as the painful loneliness. She brings all these things with the myths, so many myths she has brought here. So that was about the feminism in the novel, the Thousand Faces of Night. Now the next one we have here, mythological stories narrated by Devi's grandmother plays a very important role in shaping her personality. So which are the mythological stories Devi's grandmother has brought here and how they are connected with Devi's life? So let's see here. So Gita Hariharan's The Thousand Faces of Night revolves around three women characters. Devi, the central character, Sita, her mother, Mayama, the caretaker cum cook. Gita Hariharan, being brought up in a traditional Hindu family, is well acquainted with all the myths, and she perfectly blends the myth and the reality in the modern Indian life. Gita Hariharan, she explores the prescription of the gender relations by means of Indian mythology. The stories of Gandhari, Amba, Damayanti, and the others reflect on the life of these characters in the novel. Nurtured with the mythological stories of her grandmother, Devi dreams of a Swamvara for herself. Devi recollects her grandmother's story of Damayanti that was taken from Mahabharata. Nala, the king of Nishad, was very handsome, brave, and virtuous. Damayanti's father decides to hold her Swamvara. She was brave and determined to embrace Nala, so she threw the garland around his neck and embraced him amidst all the conspiracies made even by the gods. Her grandmother concludes the story with a moral. What's a moral? A woman gets her heart's desire by great cunning. So the story of Nala Damayanti fascinated her. From this story, Devi understood the concept of Swamvara. Then the story of Gandhari. The next story narrated by her grandma is about Gandhari, who plays a very important role in the Mahabharata. Gandhari was married to a very rich prince whose palace was twice as magnificent as her parents. On all the ways, he is very rich, and the marble pillars shone like mirrors. Whereas on meeting her husband for the very first time in such a rich palace, she was shocked to see the white eyes where the pupils glazed and they were quite useless. Gandhari, in anger, vowed never to see again the world, so she bound her eyes with the help of a veil. Summing up the story, Devi's grandmother says she embraced her destiny, a blind husband, with a self sacrifice worthy of her royal blood. So, through Gandhari's story, Devi learnt life through her grandmother's choice of Gandhari. Gandhari's story once again reflected the life of Sita, that is Devi's story. Before marriage, her parents taught her to play veena, and she entered her husband's house with a veena as a part of her dowry. After completing the household affairs, which was considered as the foremost duty of the housewives, she used to play veena. One day, her father in law called her for performing some works before puja in the morning. She did not hear as she was playing veena. The father in law scolded Sita, saying, "Put the veena away. Are you wife or daughter in law?" In an anger and frustration, she pulled out the strings of veena and vowed not to play the veena again. And she replied in a whisper, "Yes, I am a wife. I am a daughter in law." Next story we have here, story of a girl who married a snake. Another significant story told by her grandmother deals with a beautiful girl who married a snake. Although Devi's immature mind cannot decode the real purpose underlying the story, it imprinted in her memory as a story throughout her life. A childless couple prays to God for a child, and in return, a snake is born to them. When the snake grew up, the parents planned a marriage. The father walked to the distant lands in search of a bride. When the host learns that he is in search of a girl for his venom tongued son, who is in the shape of a snake, he readily offered his gorgeous daughter. The girl, on seeing the snake as a husband, wholeheartedly accepted her fate, saying, "A girl is given only once in marriage." One night, the serpent came into her room and spent a night with her. Next morning, when she woke up, surprisingly, she found a husband, a very handsome young man, on her bed. The story underlines the Hindu concept of rebirth. Devi correlates the story with the fate of the servant maid Gauri. As the grandmother grew older, stories also took a new shape. The grandmother's stories became sharper and more precarious tone of dangerous possibilities. This time, grandmother dwells upon Mahabharata for a story and she talks about Amba. Prince Bhishma goes to a Swamvara of three beautiful princes, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. Amba, the eldest, chose King Salva and garlanded him. But suddenly Bhishma kidnapped all the three princes and took them to his stepmother. When they came to know that Amba was already married, they let her go to King Salva. Unfortunately, Salva refused to accept her and insulted her. Insulted Amba goes back to Bhishma, who also refused to accept her. Thereby, she changed her attitude towards life and she vowed to avenge Bhishma. She went to the forest. She did tapasya, penance towards Lord Shiva. Having been pleased with her tapasya, Lord Shiva gave her a garland and promised her, "Whoever wears this garland will surely kill Bhishma." Next, we have story of Ganga and Shantanu. The most interesting story, which has a message of motherhood, is about Ganga and Shantanu. She says motherhood is more than the pretty picture you see of a tender woman bent over the baby she is feeding at her breast. On walking along the bank of Ganges, King Shantanu happened to meet a beautiful damsel. He fell in love with her, and in turn she had promised to marry him, provided he did not interrupt her in her actions. However difficult, but he accepted it. No sooner did she give birth to a child than she killed it, drowning in river Ganges. But he remained silent for holding up the vow. Upon the birth of the eighth child, he could not refrain protesting her from drowning the child. The lady goes back to her normal life, river Ganges, saying, normal life form, that is a river Ganges, saying, "Then take him and be the father and mother to him." She plunged into the river. So there is a belief in the Hindu mythology that water of Ganges purifies us of our sins for it because it flows from heaven. The lady who plunged into the river to wash away her sins after many years, Devi could interpret the story and conclude. She says, "To be good mother, to be a mother at all, you have to renew your wifely vows every day." Hence, the mythological stories narrated by Devi's grandmother play a very prominent role in shaping Devi's personality. So these are the two important questions from the 10 marks and that's going to help you to answer any question. So this is how we have solved here 30 marks question from the novel Thousand Faces of Night by Geeta Harian. I have done the summary on this novel. Please go through the link in the description box. Now we have 10 marks questions from the poems and the TED Talks. So we have three questions. You need to opt here two questions. Describe the life of wandering singers in the poem Sarojini, in the poem by Sarojini Naidu. Although the wandering singers do not have any permanent home or family, they do not show any sadness about it. In the line, "All men are kindred, the world is our home," the wandering singers tell us that they consider everyone their family and the whole world is their home. So they feel a bond with everyone and at home anywhere and everywhere. The words wander and roam mean walk or move in a relaxed, unhurried manner with no fixed purposes. The words march and stride mean to walk quickly with a purpose in a specific direction. The first two words have been used instead of the others because the wandering singers are never in a hurry, they have no fixed destination, they have no fixed place to reach, they move in a relaxed pace, going wherever they feel like going, free to change direction as often as the wind. So that is the life of the wandering singer in the poem Wandering Singers, written by Sarojini Naidu. Question number two, explain the significance of the title Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. What's the significance of the title of this poem? Still I Rise is about self-respect and confidence. In the poem, Maya Angelou reveals how she will overcome anything through her self-esteem. She knows how nothing can get her down. She will rise to any occasion and nothing, not even her skin color, will hold her back. So this is a poem by Maya Angelou in a similar book titled Poetry. The title book of poetry, which was published in 1978, focuses on the importance of perseverance and persistence. The poet describes the way people judge her, the obstacles she faces, and the adversity in her life. However, After describing any obstacle she meets around, she demonstrates a positive attitude that she does not let her problems bring her down. She continues to rise. In the poem, Maya Angelou talks directly to her oppressors about how she has overcome her difficulties. She mentions I rise number of times to show that she was able to rise even after they have knocked her down. The first stanza of the poem starts with stating her how words have no power over her. The second stanza tells about the confidence and the positive attitude that the narrator possesses. The third stanza is a comparison of certainty of nature with a resilience and determination to rise against challenges. The fourth stanza tells that the society would like to see the character as weak and broken because of the struggle she had faced. The fifth stanza talks about the attitude she actually has and the confidence she has grown despite all the problems she had to overcome and what kind of person she is. In the sixth stanza, she is confronting those attempting to beat her down and oppose her. In these lines, the narrator says she is unstoppable and that she will rise no matter whatever they say or do. The seventh stanza focuses on the importance of power and confidence of the narrator as a woman. The eighth stanza talks about her struggle as an African American person and how she had dealt with them. The last stanza tells the audience about what the narrator is leaving behind and all that she has gained through her fighting and perseverance. So, hence, the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou explores many themes like oppression, hope, resilience, racism, sexism, and we can say the title of the poem is very, very apt. So, two questions from the poem and from the TED Talk in this syllabus in the 4th Sem BBA. They have asked the theory questions from the TED Talk topics. So, difference between TED and TEDx. TED Talks and TEDx are the platforms created for sharing in the inspiring ideas and the stories. However, they both share a TED brand. They also have differences that seem them apart. Number one, organization structure. TED Talks are organized by the official TED organization, whereas the TEDx talks are independently organized by the local communities or the organizations under the TEDx license. Second, event scale. TED conferences are large scale events that bring together renowned speakers and a global audience, while TEDx events are smaller in scale and often focused on a specific locality or community. Speaker selection. TED Talks feature established experts, industry leaders, and the influential figures as the speaker, whereas TEDx Talks offer opportunities for a broader range of speakers, including emerging experts, passionate individuals, and community members. Production quality. TED Talks are known for the high production value, including professional lighting, staging, audiovisual support. TEDx talks might have a more moderate production value, differ depends on the resources and the capabilities of the local organizers. So this is how we have tried to solve here the 40 marks questions, 30 novella, 10 marks TED Talks, and the two poems. Now we are going to have the discussion of the remaining 20 marks questions, that is the section B. Now, let me tell you here, to these are the answers for the section B for 20 marks. My answers are very much, they are just like a sample answers. They're not limited. You can add your answer, you can bring more creativity. So my answers are not the end of the particular question's answer. Please do add your answer also. My answers are just a sample answer. Please do refer to your textbook. They are the primary source of your textbook is the primary source of the information. So now the 20 marks questions. Under this we have the section fifth. Here you have three questions, one from Pechakucha and two questions from group discussion. Pechakucha, here you have the theory questions, and from the group discussion you need to write the script. So you attempt any one, you'll be getting here 5 marks. So the first question, where did Pechakucha presentation originate? Pechakucha was created in Japan in 2003 by the renowned architects Astrid Klein and Mark Ditham. The word Pechakucha is Japanese word that stands for chit chat. Pechakucha presentation involves the display of 20 slides for 20 seconds, display of 20 slides for 20 seconds. That means to say 20 seconds for each slide, 20 slides, and each slide will be given 20 seconds. Total presentation duration is here 6 minutes 40 seconds. Mention any two steps involving in preparing Pechakucha presentation. So we have those steps. Choose a simple topic, start with an outline, tweak your outline, make your slides, add pictures, then practice and then present it. So these are the common questions. So prepare, and moreover I have done a very special video on Pechakucha presentation where you will get all these theory questions. So just watch my video, link is in the description box as well as in the playlist. Then we have the questions from group discussion topic where you need to draft the script. Now let me tell you how to draft the script. Obviously, these topics will not be asked in the next examination. You will be having some new topics. So generally what happens in the GD, in the group discussion, you'll find the moderator. I'm sorry. You'll find the moderator. You can pause the video and you can go through the script. I will not read the script here. You will get a moderator who is going to moderate the whole group discussion, and you'll be getting around 4 to 5 participants. So when you are writing a script for the group discussion, you need to imagine that you are a moderator. You need to imagine that there are 4 participants. What will they say? How will they respond? So it's in a very conversational mode. But what kind of conversation? A very, very formal conversation, not informal conversation. So please read this answer. You'll get an idea how to draft the group discussion script. Similarly, you had one more question on the group discussion on this topic, the negative effects of poverty on individuals and nation. You can pause the video, you can go through the script. You can see here there are 4 participants, there's one moderator, there's a title also. So this is how you need to opt Pechakucha or group discussion. Anyone you opt it, you are getting 5 marks. Then the next section, you have the questions from circular writing, travel writing, article writing. 3 questions are given. Attempt any one, each one question for 5 marks. So you are the manager of Polaris company. You are instructed by the management to inform the employees of the company about the bonus that has been declared for them. Draft a circular to convey the message. So you need to draft a circular that can be in this manner, and you can go through it. Circular number, salutation, subject, and the content. You can check. You can pause the video, and you can also watch my special video on circular writing. That's going to help you to develop your writing skill. Next question, draft travel writing on your visit to the your place of your choice. So what is travel writing? Travel writing means to say you visited a place and you're writing about it. It's just a simple way of your thoughts, expressing your thoughts. So don't think that these are all jargons, travel log, travel writing. Simple way we have learned in schools also. Okay, the place you visited in the past, right? You went to historical place, you write a report on this. So how you started, what did you watch, and how did you enjoy it, and give a title. That's it about travel writing, and that is also called as a travel log. Then you write an article on the influence of movies on the young people. So don't get scared by the word called article. Remember your school days, your PUC days, you need to write a paragraph, right? So here you expand it, you increase the word limit for the 5 marks around 250 words, and write a paragraph or the 2 3 paragraphs on a particular topic. That becomes an article. Only one thing, keep the word simple and easily understandable. There should be links among there should be a great link between those ideas which you are going to present here, plus no grammatical error. So this is how you have an option here: circular writing, travel writing, and the article writing. Attempt any one. Now the third section you have here, letter writing and the email writing. Again, you have plenty of choices. So you either you want to attempt letter writing, you attempt letter writing, you want to attempt email, you attempt any one questions out of three. So your cousin has got a promotion as an executive in a reputed multinational company. Draft a letter of congratulation on the subject. So here you have the congratulation letter. So sender's address, date, receiver's address, salutation. All right, dear Aksha, subject I have not written here. You can write, and the body of the letter, then salutation and the complimentary close. So you can watch my special video on letter writing, the format of letter writing. There's one video, and the types of letter writing with the examples. You can watch. All these links are in the description box. Next letter you have in your syllabus here in your question paper, an apology letter. Write an apology to your brother for not informing him about your late coming. So it's again very informal letter you're writing to your brother, that you can pause the video and you can read it. Third question is here, casual email. So what is casual email generally? It's a repeated question from the last 2 year to 1 year. A casual email is an informal email typically sent to friends, family, acquaintances. It often uses a friendly and relaxed tone, similar to a face-to-face conversation, does not follow any strict formalities or any business language. Casual emails are used for personal communication, sharing updates, making plans, or simply staying in touch. So, email writing format, we always have to write the receiver's email ID to subject, salutation, content, regards, and the name of the writer. So these are the three questions you have here. Letter writing, I've done the video types of letter writing format, email writing also I have done a video on the email writing. Just have a look in the description box, you will get all the samples videos. Then the last section you have here, 5 marks, which the questions are going to be asked from blog writing, writing on Facebook or Instagram, and writing on Quora platform. So attempt any one, whichever you love to do it. So write a blog on the importance of peace in the present day. Again, I'd say here, it's again you're writing your opinions. See, blog writing is not a big deal. Remember, only one thing, you have a domain, you have a website, you're writing, and people are reading it. If they don't like it, they won't read it. If they like it, they will read and they will comment. So write whatever you want to write. Write from your heart, right? So you don't worry about it. Whichever the topic is given here, you write anything which comes in the mind. So again, you'll be getting marks, depends on your writing skill, your grammatical accuracy, and your thoughts, how do you develop your thoughts. You can pause the video and you can read this content. Then you have here very interesting question, which if I'm a student, I would love to attempt this question, because this question has a lot of creativity. It comes out of the monotony of writing. Draft a review on a recently watched movie for your Facebook or the Instagram page. Now, all of us are on the Insta, no doubt about it. Some of us are on Facebook also. So when we are writing, we are not writing here movie review on any website. We are writing on a page. So obviously, we are not supposed to write pages together, paragraphs together. So in such case, we have to write the catchy words, the catchy statement where the people watch it, they click it, right? So generally, when you write on a Facebook or on the Instagram, we generally post the picture. No doubt about it. If you can't draw in the examination, no need to worry. If you can draw the picture, far better. And you can pause it. You can go through those. Anyway, my favorite movie, Kalki, which I have recently watched. So even I too I would like to borrow this feedback, which I copied from one of the Facebook pages. So this is how you need to give the hashtag, you need to give the web address also. So this is how you need to write the review of any movie or any content on the Facebook or on the Insta page, giving the hashtags and giving the very catchy titles. If possible, draw the picture, you'll be getting good marks. Last question for a question paper. Attempt writing for Quora about your experience on online shopping sites. Again, Quora is very simple platform where you answer the so many queries which are raised by many readers, right? So again, here whatever comes in the mind, you write it. The more systematically you write, the more systematically you write, people will read it, they will appreciate, and they will be very much thankful to your answers, to your responses. So here we are going to write on the Quora about our online shopping sites. So this is what I gathered the information from Google, and I have tried to post it here so that you get quite original idea. Okay, so again on Quora, write anything from your heart, from your mind, where you feel that people will definitely read it. So friends, this is how I can say here. Okay, sorry, that was a wrong picture. So here the thousand, this is how I can say here, this is the complete picture of your syllabus. Thousand Faces of Night by Geeta Harian, Wandering Singer, Shall I Rise, and the two TED Talks, Pechakucha, public speaking, copywriting, business writing, travel writing, article writing, email writing, letter writing, blog writing, Instagram, Facebook page writing, then writing Quora. Such a very vast syllabus. So friends, this is how I have tried to solve the question paper of the fourth semester BA Generic English, especially for the Bangalore North University BNU. So friends, if you like this video, click on the like button, and also look into, please do look into the description box. You will get all the videos links, or you check the playlist, and please do forward my videos to your friends, to your classmate. Let everybody get benefit by my work, and I expect my work should reach to all the needy students, those who really would like to get the best marks in the examination. So I wish you good luck for the forthcoming examination. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay in tune with Mukesh English, and please do subscribe, don't forget. Thanks a lot. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.